Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. This week's matchup featuring two teams who both came away with wins a week ago and know it should be a good battle today. It's the Lions going up against the Dolphins. So for the call of this Week 13 matchup, let's bring in our commentary team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, we could have been assigned to December games in Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Instead, we get the plum assignment here in sunny Miami, Florida. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Detroit Lions and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They've been in a great groove. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League. And they'll run it here. He takes this for 3 to the 29. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They're going to look to throw. Surveying the field. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there at 22. That man can leap, Charles. How do you defend a pass like that and a receiver that good?
Partner, you're really doing it through prayer because you can cover them totally downfield, but at the end, their athleticism actually allows them to uncover themselves and go over the top of you and make a play.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level play.
He'll drop to throw, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And the linebacking core could certainly be crucial today.
They do everything really, really well. Fly to the football, defend the pass, you name it, they do it, as well as set the defensive front.
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got time. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he won't go down. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6-year quarterback. And they'll go with a ground attack here. What a spin. And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry, it's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax.
Whoa. Bad move. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. The 13 yards that time of the first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On the carry, it's Davis. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And to give this time to the tailback. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. The third and inches, trying to pick it up the middle. He had nowhere to go, tackled for a loss.
And you know how we talk about double A-gap pressure, meaning linebackers going in the gap between the center and the guard on either side? Well, it's not always to get to the passer. Sometimes you do that to prevent a running play. Worked pretty well in that situation.
And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Illegal block in the bottom. Return team. Automatic first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're going to face a third down.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Wide open receiver complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Let's go. Green 39. Play clock winding down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
Second down following the run. They'll drop to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And now the Lions defensive starters.
Dante Hightower is a guy who can play the run with the best of anyone in the league, but he'll fool you a little bit in pass coverage. Not so bad there as well.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys. Because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. On defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
Here comes the Dolphins defensive unit now. And a field goal surrendered the last time out. Just by and large, are field goals wins for the defensive side?
They certainly are in today's football because offenses are so tuned up and usually have the ability to strike almost at will that when you're only giving up 3, you feel like it's almost like basketball. You're trading, right? I give up 3 on my end. I'm counting my offense to get 6 on the other, and that is a win.
Yeah, it's a win for the kicker, too, I guess, if he makes a field goal, right?
No doubt about it. He feels good about things, but his team feels like they settled.
Looking to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This will be fielded at the 17. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. One quarter down, 10-6 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
There's completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of Central Casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
the speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Hot blue 90.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
That play almost seemed like a baseball play. See ball, hit ball. But in this case, see guy with ball, tackle guy with ball.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to the runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll set up a throw. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit, but his teammates did all the dirty.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that if they have to punt the ball, they've done so with that first run.
And the play clock's running down. They'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Simple slant route and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
Back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. He'll drop to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Finding time. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll look to throw now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They'll look to throw again. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch, looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw again. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the end result, a Detroit touchdown. the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you up to Orlando and with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Larry Ridley.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Dolphins secondary has had trouble slowing down the passing game. The Lions, though, should be credited because they showed last week they can pass the ball very well. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Lions open up on offense. Pass will be completed to the sidelines. This play goes for a score. Now 1st and 10, Lions up by a touchdown. He stays up the middle on the run, and he'll take it in for the touchdown. Now following the interception, the ball's going to come out on the run, closing the gap to just 1. Final seconds in the first half. Pass into the end zone here, and he capped off the 8-play drive with a TD. The lead now at 11. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando for the call of the half. Let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on first down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a play fake here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Back to throw here. Surveying the field. Going for the deep ball. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Let's go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And they'll run it here. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
And to give this time to the tailback. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Dante Hightower. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
3 yards left to grab here on 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit defense, we get set to watch them go. And they forced 4 turnovers now in that last possession, most recently the interception.
I'd love to be in charge of their highlight video at the end of the season, though, because this game, you could cut it into one sequence, take away, take away, take away, take away, and everyone goes home happy.
Here we go now. 3:19. 3:19.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's a 10-yard pickup and it moves the chains.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive there. He hits the reliable target. Play clock winding down. And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Here we go with 2nd and 7. To throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Let's go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Second down now after the incompletion.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on, because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Oh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Time running out here on the play clock. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So a big sack for a loss of 4. It brings up 4th and goal. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Dolphins are going to be forced to settle for 3. So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back now in Miami. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
And a give this time to the tailback, pushing him away.
Popped it right out there.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 18 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be first down, Lions.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football?
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Let's go. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And as the numbers show, last week good, this week not as good. My question to you ready?
Yes, please hit me.
Why?
Because last week, he was able to find the seams in defenses. And the ball was delivered before a second guy could get there and make a play on it. This week, those seams aren't even there. The coverage has been really tight. The second guys arrived early. Not a chance for him to get the ball into those tight openings. I'm not sure we can spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he comes back with one complete. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll look to throw now on first down. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Let's go!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
So the play clock's running down. They'll drop to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders, is exactly what happened on that play.
Back to throw here. That's caught at the 2. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Their big tight end. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have got it back to a one-score game.
Okay, I know it's an old line, but it still applies here. The fat lady has not sung yet. She may be warming up, but she hasn't sung yet. There's still an opportunity.
And this time he gets it to go as it is up and good. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence. Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Second. And people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. 9 yards to go. It's 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got time. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And he did get it back, I do think. Yes, so no turnover on the punt, and it'll be a 1st down. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Hey. 4 down. Set. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
He's back to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Second down now after the pass completion.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And they're going to speed things up here.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. 8 yards there on a first down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. And he'll get up and spike it with 11 seconds remaining. To throw again. He's got time in the pocket. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And this seemingly endless drive continues. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. That's caught at the 3. Well, no doubt an electrifying finish to have it down inside the 10-yard line. That final shot, though, they couldn't get it in the end zone, and that's all she wrote.
And they had the final shot. The last snap taken that close to the end zone. They don't get it in, so they'll regret that. But flip it over, making a stand in that portion of the field, congratulations to them.
So for Detroit, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Miami, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. And with that, we sign off from Miami.